All right, all right. Good evening, good evening. Hey, Art, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Dallas?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hopefully, we'll get some people to join in here into what I like to call Project Green Studios for a little evening conversation. And so we normally go live on Thursday afternoons, but our schedule required that we do it tonight. And so hopefully, some people will join in and watch with us, and others will watch it after it's recorded. So this little back to school conversation that we're going to have tonight, and I'm going to go, Art. I'm going to go on my while we're talking here. I'm going to go on to my Facebook and share this video. And if others are watching, I would love if you would share it as well.
Okay.
So let's see here. All right. So, all right. I just shared it, so hopefully we'll get a few more people. See some numbers popping up. So we got some viewers. Um, but I'm Dallas Lanier. I'm the executive director and founder of Project Green. Project Green is the grassroots economic empowerment network. Our vision is turning everyday people into money heroes. And so we define a money hero as someone who is pursuing their own financial goals and who's helping somebody else to do the same. And so I have with me tonight one of our own in-house money heroes, our grassroots financial advocate, Art Hughes. And so Art, uh, tell us a little bit about how you got connected with Project Green.
Just real simple. I got connected through a friend. He invited me onto one of your live streams to talk about finances and helping out men. I think the topic was helping them with child support and how to handle that. And so that's a real good topic to kind of chime in as a single father myself. Never been through the child support system, but I understand how it works a little bit. And so I was able to give my input. Um, I'm really into finances and learning how to manage your money. So I thought that I would jump on that. It'd be a good topic to join. And I did. And that's how I got connected with Project Green. And the rest is history.
Yes, it is. And that's perfect, man. And I'm so glad you joined into that conversation around child support and credit reports. And so we're still working on that project. We'll be talking about that more in the weeks to come. So stay tuned so you can learn more about how we can help families to reach their financial goals, even through child support payments. But tonight we're going to have a little back to school conversation. So it is back to school time. There are some schools who started today, others started last week, and then I think most of the others who haven't started already will be starting by next Tuesday. That's certainly when Grand Rapids Public School is starting, and then of course, you know, we're starting in the midst of this rise of the pandemic and the Delta variant, and so some schools have come out with mask mandates, just speaking for me personally, I applaud that decision. But it'll be a strange new year. Who knows what to expect, but we're hopeful that all things will go well. But in the midst of all of that, right, still kids have to do their best with learning, and parents have to do their best with getting their kids prepared for the future. And that's what we want to talk a little bit about here tonight. And so I know that's that's what's passionate for you. And so I just want to give you an opportunity as one of our grassroots financial advocates to share a little bit about your project. And, just start off with, if you don't mind, telling a little bit about what was your experience as relates to financial literacy as a teenager. Did you have what you needed? Did you learn what you thought you should have learned? Or, what was your experience?
Well, my experience was I came out of my senior year of high school with no financial background. Yeah, we had our math classes and our regular school curriculum, but when I graduated high school, I left there with no background or no knowledge about finances and how that worked and how it would apply to my adulthood. So what happened was that I ended up falling into the normal traps of society. Student loan debt, credit card debt, evictions because of my lack of budgeting. You name it, I've done it, I've been there. And I wish I'd had that knowledge leaving high school, because that would have prepared me to handle those obstacles. And it probably would have saved me a lot of money and a lot of trouble. And it would have got me further ahead financially as well. So,
Man, I think, that's one of those things I dare say most of us who are probably watching and listening would say if we could go back and handle our money differently and learn things sooner, we would certainly do it. But in spite of the fact that you didn't learn what you wanted to have learned at the time you wanted to learn it, what did you do as you grew up? Like, what was your financial journey after that, Art?
It was just trying to figure out a way to get out of those traps. I ended up, as I started working, I started meeting people, and I came across a good friend of mine. We're still friends today, who kind of talked to me a little bit about his experiences and what he did to become debt free at the time. And so that was really intriguing to me. So I was always picking his brain, trying to learn the steps to take. Is this even possible? Because, you look at people all around you, everyone's in debt, got some form of payments and struggling financially 9 times out of 10. So I was interested and passionate about being one of the ones who could climb my way out of that. And so I started researching, picking his brain, reading books and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, this is possible. I just have to, it's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be hard, but it's possible. And I'm going to make a goal to get this done.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. So our own Bobby Locke just had a comment that I shared. She said, this is a great back to school topic. Learning successful money management can't start too soon. So that's a good reminder for me to invite others who may be watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. If you have comments or questions, please chime in. We want to hear from you. What was your experience growing up too? What do you wish you would have learned earlier as it relates to money management? So Art, so you kind of, you figured it out, right? You on your own, you put together a plan with some inspiration and information from your friend. So what do you want to see happen for young people who are in school today?
Well, I think young people is, and I heard Bobby say, I read the comment, is never too late to start. I mean, as young as elementary, the value of $1. I have a 16-year-old who just finished a summer job, and he was earning a paycheck. So he got to see, you put the sweat equity in, you get the paycheck, and you get to actually see what you've earned. So just teaching kids the money that they receive holds responsibility. Every dollar should have a purpose. And that's the most important thing that the young people should know, that, hey, you don't just get money and throw and spend it on something. What's your purpose? What do you have them thinking about the long-term effects of their decisions, needs versus wants, stuff like that. Just getting those habits of being responsible with money, so it can prepare them for adulthood when it's time to really have to sit down and budget their money.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. So, we learned the Pythagorean theorem when we were in school, but, we need to know percentages and interest rates and stuff that how to deal with the numbers that we're going to deal with every day. So what is your GFA advocacy project with Project Green, Art?
My project, and I feel it's a project that I'm passionate about, that I would love to see be implemented in the schools, is having some type of financial literacy curriculum in the schools, where it's a requirement to take this standalone financial literacy curriculum to be able to graduate high school. I feel it's very important, and it's very valuable at the same time. So there are states, very few, about I think 5 or 6, that's implementing this now as a standalone, as far as teaching them budgeting, how the credit system work. Even some are teaching them about stocks and things like that, investing, just stuff like that. So I would love to see that implemented in the rest of the states, as well as Michigan. Obviously, I'm here, so I'd love to see that implemented in the schools around me. So that's my project, is to be able to have this into our school systems.
Absolutely. Yep. So we want to make we want to make financial literacy classes a graduation requirement here locally, and then to expand that throughout the state. Let me share another comment from Nakia, who's a part of our Project Green circle too. She's participated in some of our activities. And Nakia said, I wish they did have those financial classes when I was growing up. My daughter is taking a financial class this year in school. That's excellent, Nakia. Glad to hear that. So we're going to be taking steps. And I think you found some other research, Art, that said something about, how parents felt, how important it was that parents felt for their children to learn about personal finance in high school. Do you recall what that was?
Yeah, well, it's a stat out there that's 83% of the parents believe that it would be beneficial that the schools don't do enough to teach kids about financial literacy, with 49% of those parents don't even know how to educate their kids themselves to make them understand how important financial literacy is. So not only do they not know how to, bring up this topic in a way that the kids will understand, 83% believe that the schools are not doing enough to be able to prepare kids to handle finances as an adult.
Awesome. So then what we're doing with Project Green is we are, marshaling all of our resources, which really starts with the voice of the community to say to our local school districts, we really want to advocate for financial literacy classes to be implemented as a part of the curriculum. And so we want people to get involved in that. And so we have a survey that I am going to put in the chat here. And I thought I had it ready to roll. So give me just 1 second. This is the reality. This is reality TV at its finest right here. So I'm going to share this link. And what we'd like people to do is to take this survey. And this survey will gauge our local interest, the interest of our local community as it relates to implementing financial classes in high school. So if you are watching, please click on the link, and it'll just take you a few minutes. But we want to gather the collective voice of the community, and then that will help us as we're talking with school districts to underscore how important it is people feel to have classes as a part of the curriculum. So Bobby asks another question: are there stats on the level of interest by school districts? That's a good question, Bobby, and I don't know the answer to that, but that's something that we can look into. I'll charge you with that question, Art, and then we can add it to the comments at another time.
Yeah, and what I can say about that is that I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know from researching that there is a high level of interest from other states and parents and school districts. Some school districts even having nonprofits on weekends. If they can't get the schools to do any type of curriculum, they're hiring nonprofits to be able to teach this over on a Saturday. So there's tons of interest. It's growing. Students are in so much student loan debt, and they're not able to live their lives, live their dreams and stuff, start families house by house. So the interest is growing constantly. So yeah, there's interest, tons of interest out there.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's, we're going to be talking with districts about the role that we can play as Project Green. Of course, we have financial literacy that we offer, but we also have great community partners that are doing a great job specifically targeting young people around finances as well. And so, our primary role right now is to do the advocacy work, and then we will work on the curriculum piece as we go. But again, thank you all for watching. Click on that link, do the survey for us, and then we will engage with you in the future about how you can get connected to Art's project. And hopefully by this time next year, we'll be right on the doorstep of having financial literacy as a part of the curriculum in at least one local school district, yet to be determined. So Art, any last questions or comments from you?
Just that parents, if you're watching, please fill out the survey. It's going to help We need all the voices and participation as possible. It's going to benefit your kids. I'm hoping that, I'm teaching my kids the same thing, and I want them to be involved. So we want to change the generation, our future, and teach them about money early. So, in a community, we can make these decisions to not, fall behind as we, graduate high school. So that's all I have.
There it is. Yes, sir. All right. Thanks, Art. Appreciate you. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Dallas. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.